Yes, sir. What is up, everybody? Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Just wanted to come in with a little bit of advice. See if I set this up right. Just wanted to stop in for some advice real quick. I need to get away from these live streams and maybe start getting back into some, not that I'm the best driver in the world, but just some lessons and stuff like that. So I'm going to get into that as soon as a few more people come in, because somebody has sent me a video this morning, like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, man, I don't know. Maybe I just need to, you got all these different kind of people that are on YouTube, you know. You got the content creators. All right, Romaine, fueled up, got the anti-gel, trailer brakes pushed in. Hey, Romaine, here's another bit of advice, because I need to get back to this shit. Once you stop, you're going to be up for a while, right? To make sure that your brakes don't freeze up. I don't know if you have analog brakes on your truck or, what the situation is. Pull forward and kind of back up with your brakes on a little bit, and that'll kind of get some of that, if there's any buildup on your brakes. It'll kind of knock the snow off of that. But, Christy, what's up? Frank, what's going on? So, my best advice, man. And first, I want to preface this. What's up, Frank? Appreciate you stopping by. The main thing that let me get back to, these different YouTube channels. So you got YouTube channels that are content creators, and they go out and film their day and, set up all these multiple camera angles and drive footage and all that. And that's good. A lot of people, that helps a lot of people, might let them understand what they're getting into, stuff like that. Then you have people that are going to kind of be a little bit more educational. Junior Honduras would be a good example of that. Trucking Along with Kiersey might be a good example of that. And these are just Prime drivers. This is not Prime specific. This is just industry specific, right? And more or less, I was kind of a channel that would talk about, different educational stuff, but a lot of it was based on finances and stuff like that. But I got into this live stream and stuff, and this shit is so much funner than doing educational videos. But I think I need to get back to just kind of talking about stuff that new drivers or drivers in general might need. And the one thing that I get out of having this YouTube channel is the community aspect, right? It's the let me turn this truck off. It is the community that I've built. When I first got into, got out on my own, the people that I built connections with. Let's bring Willie the Million Mile back into the fold again. But all these people that had experience, I learned a lot of shit from, right? And I think that's one thing. If there's one bit of advice I gotta give new drivers, it's to build a community to where you're able to absorb information from other drivers. And that's still one of the things that I get out of this. A lot of the times I'm more on the disseminating the information more so than when I was new, but I still get information from drivers that help me, whether they brand new drivers or drivers that have been driving for, years and years. And somebody sent me a video. I'm not going to get into the whole video, but it was just a video where I just saw a lot of mistakes in this video. And to make a long story short, let me just use, Christy's a good example. Last year, I've been telling people, you know what? If you want to get up on this 360 app, there's some people, a bunch of drivers out there, and what you're able to do is see kind of where drivers are and if the drivers are moving and all this kind of stuff. And last year I was sitting out in Salt Lake City and I saw Christy was in the same area. So I called up Christy. Boom. Hey, Christy, what's up? Hey, I'm thinking about jumping on 80. What's the weather like out there? And she was able to kind of give me some information on what was going on 80, right? So that's more information than I would have had. That's better than a weather app. I'm talking to somebody that's right in the shit right now. I talk to, Jasmine Slime Pack every now and then. She might be going through something. Hey, what do you think about this? Romaine the trucker. He just recently got a load. First thing somebody, if they call me or I call somebody, where are you at? What's going on? What kind of load are you on? And then if they tell me where they're at and I know they're new, I'm like, hey, you might want to think about this. You might want to take this route. You might want to do this. You might want to do that. And I got a video sent to me earlier today where there was a driver that was driving across I-70 in the wintertime. So west of Denver. So driving in from the West Coast into Denver, going through Vail Pass and all that shit, Eisenhower Tunnel at night. Now, I don't know what this particular person, how many people they talk to, or if they even talk to anybody, or if they're even open to suggestions. But the first thing that I'm going to talk to anybody about when they call me and they say that they're taking a route, and I think that route may be going across 70, is you might not want to do that at night in the wintertime. I mean, I don't even have to get into all that. But it's people that have that info. Like, had a driver been telling me that they had a load taking that route, there's no way that I would have just listened to that and let it slide without putting my input in on it. I live in Denver. I know what that shit's about, and I know what you can get into. So, first of all, if you're new drivers, build up a network. If you're going to school or, whatever the situation is, get all the phone numbers from all the people you went to school with. If you run into people that have more experience, get their phone numbers as well. I mean, that is what I've got out of this shit more than anything, is if I get a load, let's talk about when I was new. When I was new, Whilyv the Million Mile Man, like I said, we need to bring him back to YouTube. But I remember I was driving in some area, and I'll do this with people that call me. And I'm telling them where I'm at. I'm on, I-81 or whatever the situation is. I need to park within the next, hour and a half. And then, boom, start throwing out truck stops. You should be able to park here, no problem. Always spots, whatever the situation is. That's the kind of stuff that I got out of it when I was new. Or I pick up a raggedy trailer, the shit's not running right, and then somebody tells me, should be obvious, but, I didn't think about it. Hey, if the trailer's shutting off, just jump the trailer, put it on continuous. Whatever it is, there's always people out there that have been through shit that I haven't been through, whether they're newer than me as far as driving, older than me, that could pass that information on. And really, if you're doing YouTube videos and you have people that are watching your videos, and I would hope that you would have a community or some contacts built up out of that shit. You need to use that information, because there is no way that, unless somebody was stupid that was telling me that they were coming across I-70 and I told them what the situation was, what the workaround was, and then you still take that route, well, that's on you. But build up some contacts. All right. Anyway, that is that. So I'm out at the truck trying to get things set up, and just taking a little bit of a break, getting everything kind of situated in here. And I'm at the Denver drop yard terminal, whatever you want to call it. We're out here at the Navajo terminal. Let me see if I can turn this around so you can kind of take a look at where I'm at. So these are all Navajo trailers, shit like that. Pretty big drop yard. This is only like a quarter of it that you guys can see, but Prime's about to fuck this shit up out here. I was looking for a trailer earlier today, so I'm walking behind the trailers, and these are only Prime drivers that could be doing this shit. There is so much shit behind these trailers. Trash, personal trash, fucking, like, all kinds of shit behind our trailers. And it's this kind of shit that's going to get us run up out of here. Now, this isn't that great of a drop yard, but it's better than what we had if you went to our last drop yard. All right. Trucking life with my Filipino wife. You know what? Check him out. Okay, so I've already spoke about Romaine the Trucker. If you're new, check out his channel. But Trucking Life with Filipino Wife, he is a Prime driver, been a Prime for a while, and he's looking at going out and getting his own authority. If that's your thing, follow his channel. Might be providing a step-by-step little, providing how to do it step-by-step. Okay, I can never find his Facebook put, and you know how that turns out. Do you have any suggestions for groups? Trucking Life. The main Facebook page that I use is the weather Facebook page that I forget the name of it. That is the most important Facebook page. As far as the other shit, I'll skim through it. You got the Prime Facebook pages, stuff like that. And a lot of times you have people posting up videos of people in unfortunate situations and shit like that. And if there's one thing I hate more than anything, especially with this YouTube shit, you got a driver out there who was not a good driver. I'm going to actually say that shit. That makes a living posting drivers in bad situations doing stupid shit. That is unforgivable right there. So there's some trucking groups, but I don't really fuck with them that much. I'll be on there, answer some shit every now and then, but really it's just the weather channel. I don't really get too deep into that. Hyper Uranian, I think that's how you pronounce it. Do I have any Armenian friends? No, I don't have any Armenian friends that I know of. I mean, there could be somebody that is Armenian that I just don't know about, but not that I know of. So anyway, that's really all I want to do. I'm probably going to come back in here and talk about some shit that I've either learned the hard way, whether I did it or one of my drivers did it when I had drivers driving for me, or just stuff that I learned along the way, because I've kind of got away from that. Because it's so easy just to come on here and bullshit with everybody. It's a whole lot funner than actually, coming up with a video and not stumbling over your words and doing all that kind of stuff. But I think there's been a lack of information out there in terms of new drivers. And I never worried about it that much because Junior Honduras was really the one that was kind of, that was his thing. But he hasn't been posting in a long time. So I just don't see that there's real, you know, Twisted D did, does it kind of a little bit too, but he's really not out here like that. So maybe I just need to fill that gap a little bit. Okay, non-Facebook groups. Facebook is just all I recommended, and I don't find them useful. Now, I don't know anything about that trucking life. Slime Pack, what's up? Afro, what's up? So anyway, that's what I need to do, because obviously I don't have the kind of channel that's generating a lot of money and stuff like that. But like I said, what's even more invaluable than that is the contacts that I've made and stuff I've learned from people through this. And, shit like that. Because it's just been a lack of that shit lately. So I'm going to try to fill that gap. So that's probably going to mean less live shit, stuff like that. And more actual videos like what to do in cold weather, shit you need to carry. Just like I was telling Romaine, if you've been driving in slushy weather, you get to a truck stop, don't just shut down and stay parked. Shut down, stay parked a little bit, drive forward, drive back, drive forward, drive back. Get that slush and shit knocked off your brakes and everything, stuff like that. How did I learn that? The hard way. Somebody told me. You know what I mean? Double, triple up on that anti-gel. How did I learn that? The hard way. Trying to make people not go through this shit the hard way like I used to have to. Tim Travels, what's up? But yeah, that's it. So if you've been, I try to drop some nuggets in some of my live videos, but those things could be going 2 hours long, and that nugget might be in there an hour and a half into that shit. So maybe not everybody's catching it. All right. Big Kyle, help how cold it has to get FR. I don't know what that means, but elaborate on that a little bit more. So here's one I just learned from talking to a driver the other day. She picks up a trailer. Weather's not really all that cold, but the reefer hasn't been driven or hasn't been running all that long. So it's probably about 20 something degrees, 25 degrees. Don't think there's any need to run, to really start up the reefer. She goes to start up the reefer. Shit's not running. Won't run. So she threw some 911 in there. Now I know about that stuff, but I never really would have even thought to start up she tried to start it up in plenty of time, but just having that at the forefront of my mind is something that I may not have had. I may have only tried to start it up 30 minutes before I get to my, shipper or whatever. So it's learning from other people's mistakes that'll make you a better driver. All right, I'm at home taking a snow day tomorrow. I'm not wanting to leave out tomorrow, to be honest with you. All I need to do is get dispatched. This winter, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be more conservative than Rush Limbaugh on a Sunday morning. I am not trying to fuck around in this snow this year. I did enough of that shit last year, so if I get a load and it looks like it's sketchy, I'm not fucking with it. I mean, I'll park up, do all that shit, but you see these trucks sliding in Kansas City over the last day? I'm not in that shit. All right, let's see. Help how cold it needs to get for my diesel to gel up. All right, Kyle. This is going to be kind of dependent on what anti-gel you use, but diesel fuel starts gelling up at 20 degrees, roughly. Less than that, You could probably get away with a little bit less than that. I'm not doing that because I fucked around and found out last year. And I had my fuel treated. But 20 degrees, it starts gelling, right? So one treatment of fuel at 20. Once it gets down to 0, double it up, and then add another treatment for every 20 degrees below that. So last year, I thought I treated my fuel like, I think I had a bottle that said it'll treat 250 gallons. So I'm figuring, okay, I'll put in half in one tank, half in the other tank. That means I'm 50 gallons over treated it. So I'm at like minus 18 degrees when I do this. I wake up in the morning, and I have my truck running all night. Wake up in the morning, minus 38 degrees. My fuel didn't necessarily get gelled, but there's a pipe or something that goes between the two tanks. Well, that shit gelled up. So I woke up in the morning, my fuel light's on, like saying I'm empty. So I get out, look in my fuel tank. It's like damn near full. So I'm like, oh, well, it must just be cold weather doing what cold weather does. What I didn't realize was it was drawing all the fuel from my passenger side tank and not pulling any from my driver's side tank. So as I started driving, I ran out of fuel. Boom. $1,200 later, I learned that I need to double and triple that shit up. So Slime Pack is laying on the couch. That's what I'm talking about. What's up from Uzbekistan? I bet it's cold out there. Shit. These nuts, what's up? Tim Travels. If this shit was important, they'd put it on a plane. Exactly. So anyway, I'm going to be that conservative this year. I'm not worried about, like, I need to get dispatched, right? Because I haven't done a load in like 27 days. It'll be 28 days tomorrow. So I need to run a load in 30 days. I don't need to do anything other than get it dispatched. I don't need to get to the one at any certain time, anything like that. I just need to be dispatched. So that's what I need to do. So I think I do need to find a trailer here pretty soon. All right, Frank, it's going to be a record-breaking winter. I did get a little ceramic heater. Hey, listen, that weather was so fucking cold last year when I went through that shit. I damn near thought I was going to die. Not really, but the truck wasn't starting. The APU wasn't starting. It did have some juice. So I got this little ceramic heater. It's about that big. So if shit happens like that this year, then I'll be I mean, I wasn't gonna freeze to death because there was a quick trip or come and go or something that was about a quarter mile away, but that shit was cold while I'm waiting for the tow truck or the, you know, whoever it was. All right, Coach and Tim got fired from Hirschbach. How did you find that out, 412? So anyway, I stacked up this truck. Man, I got more shit in here than I know what to do with. But once I started, I wasn't sure that they were going to be sending this title as fast as they were. I don't think they sent it this fast the last time I paid off a truck. So they told me that the title was in the mail on Friday. So I need to get back here within 3 weeks to get that title transferred over. So I'm only going to be out like 3.5 weeks, something like that, before I come back and get that title transferred. And I'll probably take another 10 days off when I come back for that. All right, let's see. Hey, 412. What I was really talking about earlier, man, was just new drivers need to build up connections and shit like that. People that they can kind of talk to, especially in weather like this. Somebody sent me a video of a prime driver that, man, I'm not going to get into the video, but this driver was driving over I-70 in winter, I-70 west of Denver, coming towards Denver in the middle of a storm. But that doesn't matter. There's always a storm up there. In the middle of a storm and at night. All it would have taken was a call from a number, like anybody that would call me or a number of different people would be like, don't take that route. Well, you know, if I take the other route, it's going to be 300 miles. You know what? Sit it out. Wait till tomorrow morning or even the next day, but do not take that route. So anyway, just different shit that you learn. Like, as a YouTube, I'm not even going to call myself a YouTuber because I'm not no YouTuber, but through YouTube, I've met a bunch of different people. And what I've learned through that, or what I've got out of that, is a lot of advice, a lot of knowledge, shit like that. And anybody that's on YouTube should be able to have those contacts. And if you just think that your content is that special to where you're not trying to network and do all that kind of stuff, then you might be, I don't know. That's not what I get out of this. You know, Slime Pack is a good one. She has a channel. I'm sure she has a lot more, well, the potential to have more contacts than I do. But one thing that she does, and she's called me a couple of times, is when she needed a little bit of advice, she called me and kind of ran it through. Now, I'm not saying I have all the advice, but she at least ran that advice through somebody. Romaine the trucker's done the same thing. I've done the same thing with people. And I just think that new people that are out there that don't feel that that's important, I think they're missing out on a lot of shit. And there's really no excuse to actually be on YouTube with that available and not to take that advice. I mean, every time I talk to somebody, where are you at? Where are you going? And this could be somebody that's driving, have more experience than me, or let you, whatever it is. And it's like, man, what route you taking? Then we might even talk about it, or, you know, whatever the situation is. Or we could be talking about a ship or receiver. Hey, when you go there, you know, this thing might say go in the first exit, but if you do that, then this might happen. Or, you know what? The reviews might say you have to blindside into this. That's not really true. If you do this, you know, whatever information, the more information I can get, the better. And I think a lot of people just don't think that shit's important. It could be a fucking brand new guy that's giving me the information. It's just information. Anyway. Alright, so that's kind of what I'm talking about. 412, tell me about this Coach and Tim situation if you haven't already replied to that. T-News, I'm back in the truck and I hate this shit right now too. Anyway, how much? Alright, we already got through that. What was up with the TikTok video with Tim and them? I know they were talking about how much better their shit was than Prime. They actually kept putting that shit in their mouth. That was kind of pissing me off. Not that I really cared all that much because I knew what the deal was, but I'm in deep with all the trucker drama, and okay, so I don't fuck with that shit. Who been grinding them up and exposing their wives and crazy shit. Okay, hey, I don't fuck with all that shit. Because that's the last thing I need. Alright, you get you a case to put your britches in. I don't know what you mean by that, Shamarcus, but shit. I got like 2 packs of fresh draws out here. Alright. How did you pay off your truck when you've been off for 2 weeks? Man, I had some money in my emergency fund and I knew it was close to getting paid off, so I don't have that much money in my emergency fund. Because I kept bringing it down for 3 weeks. So I had about $4,000 left in my emergency fund. They called me and said, hey, next week's your next payment. And I was like, I'm off. Do you want me to move some money over? She's like, no, you know, we'll take that payment out. You have like $2,800 in this other fund, so we'll just pull the money from that fund and put the rest on your settlement and then kind of go like that. So I'll actually be making money this next Friday and probably will not have a load delivered on that settlement. All right, 412, you need a network or people that you can politic with? Absolutely. I'm telling you. And just people that got your back. You know, when I was going through this shit, when I had that fucked up trainer, actually, I lost the guy's number that was one of the people I talked to. It was that network, even a brand new YouTuber, I had like a network built. As soon as that shit started going south, I started calling all these people and basically had character references in case it got down to that point. So anyway, they're in Arkansas at orientation for a new carrier. I'm sure it's Pam, but that dude Tim slipped up and said Hirschbach decided something, basically saying they let him go. All right, they trying to play it off, but they're in a hotel room looking super sad. I would tell him, well, I don't know. So new people. All right, and I'm not going to be taking this super long. New people. Or this isn't even new people shit. People. Get your network built up. Whether that be people inside of Prime, fleet manager, payroll, whatever. Logs, other drivers. You know, I've had some incognito people in, you know, that I've kind of network with inside of Prime, shit like that. You never know when you're going to need that shit. You never know when you could put up this stupid ass video. Now, I'm not going to put up a stupid video and self-snitch on myself. But you never know when you're going to put up a fucking video that potentially could get you fired, or you do some shit and you can call up on somebody and be like, hey man, I need you to talk to these people. You know, could you call so-and-so and like, you know, give me a, you know, character reference, or, you know, whatever it is. All right, since day one, 5 years ago type shit, me and my class still got our chat going, plus all that other people I met out here almost daily about carriers, loads, all that shit. Yep, absolutely. So that shit's important. And then if it's not even for shit like that, I mean, I haven't spoken with, you know, T-News would be a good example. But if something did go down and I needed to go to Landstar, boom. Hey, tell me what the steps are, kind of, you know, kind of let me know kind of what I need, you know, all, you know, just whatever. But this, like, being one man on an island thinking that you could super truck your way out of fucking anything is ridiculous. And listen, if you got a YouTube channel, don't self-snitch. God damn, I've seen so many people out here doing the craziest shit on video and posting it. And some of it gets, you know, some of it gets noticed, some of it doesn't, whatever. But don't be putting yourself in a video clearly violating, you know, violating some of the stuff that, you know, some of the rules or whatever. Anyway, my wife is calling. I'm about to get off of here. About to get back out on these streets, or as my trainer at Prime used to say, I'm about to get out here in these streets. And I guess we'll catch up tomorrow. Hopefully I don't go directly into no bad weather. Anyway, I'm out.